I'm Marc.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for July 20th? Say 20th?
Sure.
The week of San Diego Comic Con. Everyone in the world is in San Diego except us. Well, at least 125,000 people. One day, I say. One day. DC is going to be rolling out all the stops in San Diego to promote the new 52, and they have sent us this fine preview book, which we have available today. It has a 6-page preview of the new Justice League from Jim Lee and Jeff Johns, with some fancy schmancy artwork and an interesting start to the story. Plus, we get new preview art and commentary and a bunch of other cool stuff on the other new 51 titles. So this is free while supplies last. Hurry in to grab yours. Comic-wise, no surprise, Batman Gates of Gotham continues to be good. It is a real solid mystery. We still have the previous 2 issues in. This is issue number 3. And we've been talking about it from the beginning. No big surprise here. We like it. You should read it. It's very, very good. And as I said, it's a good mystery, and there's a really good line. The interaction between the Bat family, I think, is really good in this series. And as we pointed out with the first issue, but we see more of that in this issue. And there's a line where, Dick says, that Tim is a better Robin than I was, and how reliant Dick is on Tim's expertise. So the writing is excellent. It has me really excited about what Scott Snyder is going to be doing in the new DC 52, and Kyle Higgins, who's the actual writer of the book. Snyder plotted it, or is a co-plotter, and Higgins actually is doing the writing, and he's writing 2 books in the new, at least 2 books in the new DC 52, including Nightwing. So it should be a lot of fun.
All right, but before you get to the new 52, you have to get through the Flashpoint. This week, Flashpoint books, we've got issue 2 of Legion of Doom, Outsiders.
The
Outsider, featuring very cool Black Adam stuff. And we also find out who the Outsider's big adversary is this year. Dick Grayson, I'm sorry, I can't read. Deadman and the Flying Graysons, which is actually continuing to be excellent. But the cream of the crop is Abnett and Lanning's Wonder Woman and the Furies. This is continuing to fill in the backstory, getting us to where we are with Aquaman and Wonder Woman at war, and it continues to be very strong and a great companion piece to the Emperor Aquaman book. And if you're reading Flashpoint, you want to get what's going on in the Flashpoint world, you should definitely be following it.
On the other side of things, Marvel's got Fear Itself going on, and this week we've got a number of Fear Itself tie-ins, including Invincible Iron Man number 506, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a pivotal book as relates to Fear Itself. There's stuff that happens in this that is very important, I think, to the larger series that we're not seeing, at least at this point, in the larger series. So, a lot of times the core miniseries is designed to only be read, and you don't have to worry about everything else. I would pick this issue up if you're reading Fear Itself, because there's some stuff going on in here that I think that's, as I said, going to play a bigger part in the bigger picture.
And there's some stuff in there that's important to Iron Man, really,
to
and
Iron
character
Man,
development.
Of course. I don't know. I guess we don't want to spoil it, but he sacrifices a couple of things to make a deal with Odin. So that ties in with the bigger picture, and it's been good, consistently good.
All right, Witchdoctor number 2. This is your second chance. If you didn't pick up the first issue of Witchdoctor, you should pick up this one. We've still got the first one in stock. It's just a great book, kind of a combination of House MD and Doctor Strange. You've got a idiosyncratic physician solving problems of a mystical nature, and it's just great. There's wonderful dialogue, there's great kind of quirky characters and interpretations of classic mythology, and if you like anything remotely good, you will enjoy Witchdoctor.
As you will also enjoy Rocketeer Adventures. The continuing saga of me gushing about Rocketeer Adventures. This is issue number 3, and this time around, as a reminder, it's an anthology book with short stories about Dave Stevens' creation, The Rocketeer. We've got the first story is written and drawn by Ryan Sook, who is just an outstanding artist. He's done the covers for X Factor. He's doing a variety of things that are outstanding, including this. We get a short prose story written by Joe Lansdale with art by Bruce Timm, who is the mastermind behind the entire DC animated universe, including Batman the Animated Series and the direct-to-DVD movies. Get some pinups in here, and then finally a story by Jonathan Ross and Tommy Lee Edwards. And again, I love it. It's great. A lot of you are enjoying it too, and it's just so much fun. You can pick this issue up on its own, or you can pick up the previous issues. I know we've got copies of 2. We might have a couple copies of 1 left, but highest praise for Rocketeer Adventures.
Speaking of highest praise, issue 1 of The Misadventures of Adam West. We had the preview book of this on Free Comic Book Day, and it was reasonably popular. Basically, we're following Adam West, the actual Adam West himself, the actor, in an adventure. It starts off with him sort of decrying the state of the world today. People don't believe in heroes anymore. They want to see dark stories where their heroes get the snot beat out of them. They don't want to see the heroes win and the bad guys get punished. And it's actually very good. It's got a nice kind of light tone. It's not as tongue-in-cheek as like the original Batman show, but it's definitely aware of itself. And I very much enjoyed it. If you like Adam West, if you're a fan of his appearances on Family Guy, stuff like that, or if you just like, if you yearn for the more classic era of stories of heroes, it's definitely the way to go.
My pick of the week, Daredevil #1 by Marc Waid, and there were two different artists on this, so I want to make sure I get it right. Paulo Rivera does the main story, and Marcos Martin does the first page and then the backup story. And both of these guys are spectacular. They were both on Amazing Spider-Man during the Brand New Day, Big Time. They were in both writing or drawing Spider-Man during that time, and they both kind of invoke a Tim Sale vibe. It's very clean, very reminiscent of kind of 70s and 80s Daredevil versus the 90s and 2000s, which was very gritty and dark. And this book is not gritty and dark. It's lighthearted. Matt Murdock has turned the corner from all of the demons he's been possessed by and dealing with over the last decade or so. Waid still acknowledges that those things happened, but we've turned a corner and we're headed in a different direction. And it's a the tagline for Daredevil was, here comes Daredevil, or look out, here comes Daredevil, the man without fear. And he's usually smiling in a lot of those earlier comics. He's smiling on the cover of this one. So the fun in Daredevil will hopefully be returning, and it's a good start with this issue. So I highly recommend it. If you've never read Daredevil, you learn a lot of what you need to know in the first couple pages. But I will give you my crash course in Daredevil reading, which is essentially the Karen Page trilogy. Start with Born Again by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli, the guys who did Batman Year One. And then you move on to Guardian Devil, which is written by Kevin Smith. Yes, that Kevin Smith, director of Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy. Not Cop Out. That movie sucked. And art by Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti. This is a gorgeous book. This is fantastic, but this would be the second volume in the Karen Page trilogy. And then you can wrap things up with Daredevil Yellow by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. And this is a nice way to be introduced to Daredevil, but there is kind of a thread, as I said. The thread is Karen Page that runs through these three stories, and that was kind of Matt's first true love. But on their own, they're all individually great stories, and will give you a good primer for getting into Daredevil.
Now, this Daredevil #1, do I have to have read the mini-series or the Black Panther stuff or any of the other things that are going on to get it?
No, you don't. It's a great entry point for new readers, but also kind of for me anyway, as a Daredevil fan, it was a breath of fresh air for a Daredevil fan.
My pick of the week is War of the Green Lanterns Aftermath. This series is covering the fallout from War of the Green Lanterns. Don't want to spoil any of the stuff that happened in the War of the Green Lanterns for you, but you see a lot of characters who had important things happen to them, and we follow those threads, and some of them are definitely going to be setting up what we see in the new DC universe, the direction we see that the Green Lantern books are going to be taking. So definitely worth a read if you're a GL fan, and that is all.
I mean, I flipped through that when we got it. I have not read any of the War of the Green Lantern stuff, and I kind of raised my eyebrows and went, huh? I mean, there's stuff in here that I was completely surprised by, and it looked very interesting. All right, that wraps another week. San Diego Comic-Con commences this evening, and we will be trying to follow the news and sharing it with you via our Twitter feed, twitter.com/alteregocomics, and our Facebook page, facebook.com/alteregomaniacs. And of course, we hope to see you here in the store right in the heart of downtown Lima. Have a great week.